No DQ Galaxy. We are live with a recap of Friday Night Smackdown for December 1st, 2023. We are in the final month of what has been a very interesting year in wrestling. We have Royal Rumble coming up, less than 2 months away now, and we're starting the build towards that. We got a little bit of a tease for the future here on SmackDown. Let's get right into this recap. Shout out to Joey Perez, CC Drink, KDog28, Matthew. I appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you for that. I am feeling better, KDog. Did test negative for COVID on Thursday. Today's Friday. So on the mend from getting COVID during Thanksgiving. That was not fun, but feeling a lot better now. So let's get right into SmackDown and discuss the happenings of this show. We opened up SmackDown with Bianca Belair coming off of the win for her team at War Games. They showed the footage. She gave a shout out to her teammates, but she said that her war with Damage Control is not over. She is coming for that world championship that Io Sky has. Damage Control minus Bayley came down to the ring, said that Bianca is way in over her head, and according to Dakota Kai, if Bianca wants another title shot, and she said title shot, so Vince really must be gone from WWE, Bianca will have to go through every single member of Damage Control. Charlotte Flair and Shotzi arrived to even the odds. We had a big fight breakup, and the babyfaces cleared the ring of Damage Control. Bianca is the former champion, so I guess she would be first in line, although some people think she needs to get in the back of the line. Well, she is declaring it. That's what they do in WWE. They declare things. Opening segment was fine, pretty standard. Backstage, they ran into Bayley, Damage Control did, and they asked Bayley for some help, and more on that in a few moments. We had our first match of the evening, which was Butch versus Bobby Lashley with the Street Profits. Now, this was in Brooklyn, New York. Crowd was loving Bobby Lashley. Even though him and the Street Profits are heels, they still get cheered like good guys. Lashley got on the mic and said he was going to break Butch into pieces. Butch just slapped the mic away from Lashley, and we had our match. Butch was all alone because Ridge Holland walked out on Butch last week. Butch tried to go right after Lashley, but Lashley quickly got the upper hand. Crowd was chanting, "Let's go, Bobby." Lashley was largely dominating. Montez Ford was trash talking, saying that Black Friday has been extended. Butch was able to avoid a spear. Lashley went into the ring post. Butch did get in some offense, did the joint manipulation, but ultimately it wasn't enough. Lashley regained the upper hand, picked up the win with the spear, and no sign of Ridge Holland, no sign of Sheamus, although the announcers did bring up how Sheamus has been gone for months. I guess we'll have to see what's up with the Brawling Brutes if they're ever going to get back together. But for now, Butch is all alone. Pretty decent match here. Not too much to say about it. Backstage, we had Paul Heyman meeting up with Nick Aldis. Was not happy about Randy Orton being invited to SmackDown. And then Aldis responded to Heyman saying that he intends to sign Orton to a SmackDown exclusive contract. And he said if he has to offer up the entire bloodline, so be it. The plot thickens. Shout out to Caleb, who sent in a $5.46 super chat. Says, congrats on 25 years. Hope you're feeling better. I appreciate that very much, Caleb. As I mentioned, feeling better after getting COVID during Thanksgiving for the very first time. Took 3.5 years, finally got it. And it did suck on Black Friday. That was a pretty awful day. But other than losing my sense of smell, I was okay for most of the week and feeling a lot better now. Got my sense of smell back. So again, thank you for that, Caleb. We had Butch backstage being interviewed. He didn't really want to talk about Ridge Holland. He said he's there. He'll fight anyone. And that's when Pretty Deadly showed up to bully him, said that he'll always be alone. They made fun of him. A fight broke out, but 2-on-1. Butch was outnumbered, and they said he'll be alone forever. He's always going to be alone. Makes you wonder if we will see Sheamus try to help out, or if he'll reemerge as Pete Dunne. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities about this storyline and where it could possibly go. We had Santos Escobar being interviewed before his match. He said that he's only finishing what Rey Mysterio started. It was Rey that betrayed the LWO, not him. And he said that Joaquin Wilde and the other guy, why is his name always slipping my mind? But the other guy of Legado, he said that they're blinded by their hero Rey. And he said that he's going to put Joaquin on the shelf if Joaquin doesn't see the light. Cruz del Toro is the other guy. He was not here, by the way. It was just Joaquin Wilde of LWO versus Santos Escobar. Basically a showcase match for Santos. Joaquin did get in some offense, did some high-flying moves, but was not enough. He got caught with a super kick. Santos did some trash talking and then picked up the win with the Phantom Driver. Now, after the match, he kept the attack going. Dragon Lee ran down to make the save and delivered a running drop kick into the corner and sent Santos packing for now. More on Santos in a minute, though, and Dragon Lee for that matter, so stay tuned. Backstage, Adam Pearce showed up. Adam Pearce, who runs Raw. He confronted Nick Aldis about Randy Orton, and he had his own contract. He was going to try and recruit Orton to be exclusive to the Monday Night Raw brand. Logan Paul, the United States champion, finally decided to show up. He called out his doubters. He said, where are they now? He called himself the fastest rising star in WWE history. And he said the title has been on his junk. There's pictures of that, unfortunately. Just like everyone else has been since he arrived in WWE. He said he spoke with Nick Aldis. Since Rey Mysterio is hurt, there will be a tournament for a new challenger for the United States title. In other words, Logan Paul's not defending to the Royal Rumble, and we got to kill time until then. That's what it is. I like the idea of a tournament, although AEW's got their own tournament going on, so I don't know if it's actually the best timing. Do we really need yet another tournament? But it is a nice idea to find a challenger for Logan Paul. And they did reveal the 8 participants. It will be Santos Escobar, Dragon Lee. They're going to have a match next week, which is also tribute to the troops. They're doing that, but it looks like they're going to actually do a regular SmackDown because they're going to start doing the tournament. Plus, CM Punk will be on next week's SmackDown. So, yeah, it looks like they're doing a regular SmackDown, but they're going to mix in the tribute to the troop stuff probably show a video package and have a little segment with the troops at ringside, that sort of thing, but more or less do a regular SmackDown. Bobby Lashley is in this tournament. He'll be facing Karrion Kross, which is interesting. I suspect that Kross will be doing the job here. Austin Theory, Grayson Waller are in it. Kevin Owens, and a superstar from NXT will be in this tournament. Now, Kevin Owens came out there. He said that Logan Paul is an unbearable jackass, and the only junk is the crap drink that Theory peddles. Or not Theory, Logan Paul. The drink that Logan Paul peddles. Theory and Waller came out there. Owens punched Theory again, and then we had a stare down between Owens and Logan Paul. And that led to a match between Kevin Owens and Grayson Waller with Logan Paul on commentary. Now, Waller slid right to the outside of the ring. Owens had to go after him. It went back and forth, and then Owens hit a splash off the apron. Waller managed to send Owens into the ring post, and while the referee was distracted, Austin Theory stomped on the hand of Kevin Owens. That allowed Waller to get the upper hand for a while, and anytime Owens would try to make a comeback, his hand was hurting. He came off the top with a frog splash. His hand was hurting. He did manage to hit a swanton bomb, but Waller regained the upper hand, was targeting the hand of Owens, but Owens somehow managed to roll up Waller and get the 1-2-3 victory. Good match here, probably the best match of the show. And with Owens and Paul having so much interaction, like it seems like Owens is the clear favorite to win this tournament. I just can't imagine who else it will be. We then had Bianca Belair versus Kairi Sane. Now, before the match, Io Sky told Bayley to stay in the back. The rest of Damage Control went out there for the match. Charlotte Flair and I'm having a blank here. Shotzi. Charlotte Flair and Shotzi were out there at ringside, and Asuka tripped Bianca, and then Charlotte tripped Kairi for a little bit of payback, but the referee caught it. Asuka then got in the ring, and the referee was just like, enough of this. The referee had everybody ejected except for the participants. So it was down to one-on-one. And Bianca built up some momentum. Kairi got the upper hand, came off the top with a flying forearm. Bianca kicked out of that, and then Bianca was sent to the outside. Bianca ended up sending Kairi ribs first into the barricade, got her back in the ring, but then Bianca was attacked by Bayley while the referee was checking on Kairi. Kairi was a little thrown off, but then she went up top for the big insane elbow. Bianca stopped her, hit the KOD, and picked up the victory. And I do agree with Matthew. The match was not that good. I feel like they were off. Like some of the things they were doing didn't seem like they were properly in sync with each other. But they did advance the storyline here with Bayley, where she was out there. She was told not to go out there, but she did. She tried to help, and it ultimately backfired because Kairi was a little bit distracted by Bayley being there, and maybe the slight hesitation cost her the win. We had our final segment of the evening. Randy Orton, which brand, Raw or SmackDown? Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis were in the ring. Orton got a huge reaction from the fans in Brooklyn. They were chanting Orton. They were chanting RKO. And things were getting heated with the GMs. They were talking over each other. Pearce offered a title match on Raw, and Aldis, of course, said he'll give Randy the bloodline. But that led to Paul Heyman interrupting and brought up how Orton was out for 18 months and said there will be no RKOs and no decision made because the bloodline will make the decision for Randy Orton. That led to Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso coming out there. A fight broke out. Bloodline got the upper hand, 2-on-1, but then LA Knight ran out there to make the save. Randy has an ally. LA Knight fought with Solo to the back, and then Randy hit Jimmy Uso with the RKO. He grabbed the contracts, and Heyman was trying to tell Randy that he is safe on Monday Night Raw. Orton took the Raw contract and tossed it. He did, in fact, sign with SmackDown, and he told Heyman to call Roman Reigns because Daddy's back. Crowd popped huge. Nick Aldis got in the ring, raised the hand of Randy Orton, but then, of course, never trust a snake. Randy Orton taking out Nick Aldis with the RKO and then celebrating with the fans. I mean, Randy Orton signing to a specific brand, he was technically a free agent, not drafted. So, yeah, you might as well make a big deal out of it. He's one of the biggest stars in wrestling history. Like, I thought this was a very strong segment and overall the best thing on the show. Building Nexus sent in a $2 super chat, says, what are the chances Randy Orton punts Jimmy and Solo? You might as well. I mean, I think they should use the punt to build up Randy Orton for the Royal Rumble. I mean, it's pretty clear to me we are getting Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns for the title at the Rumble. Might as well have an extra move that could potentially be the finish. You got the RKO. Roman Reigns will probably kick out of that at least once, but then you could bust out that punt, and maybe he gets hit with it. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he counters the punt with a spear, but I would absolutely build up the punt, and maybe even Heyman gets it at some point. One of my favorite usernames, Mike Hunt, sent in a $5 super chat, says, the Bloodline storyline is so overplayed now. Every week it's the same old boring stuff. I agree that it's definitely past its peak, and Roman Reigns should really be losing the title at WrestleMania. I think he needs to be humbled. I could see a babyface turn for Roman Reigns after WrestleMania, losing the title and going in a different direction. I do think that the Bloodline storyline is wrapping up here. It's getting close to that ninth inning that Paul Heyman was bringing up. Like, what else can you do? I mean, I suppose you could bring in another Samoan family member to potentially join the group. But yeah, I really think Roman needs to lose it at WrestleMania. I don't see Randy Orton winning, but should be a hell of a match for the Royal Rumble Premium Live event. Building Nexus sent in a $2 super chat, and thank you guys for the super chats. I appreciate it. Says, maybe Roman Reigns sacrifices Jimmy to RKO. He probably will. Like, I could definitely see. I mean, keep in mind, we got like 7 or 8 weeks left for the Rumble. I'm sure Jimmy and Randy will have a match, and then they'll probably do Randy versus Solo, unless they're going to save Solo for LA Knight. I could see that potentially being a singles match, or Solo's in the Rumble to counteract LA Knight and make sure LA Knight doesn't win. They could end up going in that direction, but yeah, I definitely see Jimmy being a fall guy here leading up to the Rumble. Hamp Connell sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Hamp. Much appreciated. Says, today in history, 1998, WWE pushed the envelope in one of the most infamous incidents of the Attitude Era when Austin was crucified by the Ministry. Well, you have to keep in mind that it wasn't a crucifix. It was a symbol. That's how WWE described it when they got heat for it. Imagine them trying to do that today. I remember in ECW, the Sandman was crucified. I believe it was the Sandman. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I remember that Kurt Angle was legitimately offended by it, and I think a lot of people were, that ECW was going too far with a crucifixion angle. WWE did something like this a couple years later in '98, and nobody really blinked an eye. And the few people that did complain, WWE's response was, well, it was the Undertaker's symbol. It wasn't technically a crucifix, but you know damn well what they were going with the symbolism of it, with Austin's arms being out and being raised up above the stage. You know, they knew damn well what they were doing. So anyways, SmackDown was pretty solid. I felt like the main angle was really well done. The wrestling on the show was fairly average, and the storyline development, you know, you had the Bayley stuff, which was good. Wasn't like a top tier SmackDown in my opinion. I still feel like we're kind of in a lame duck period between now and after the holidays. So December might be a bit slow. They do have CM Punk for next week. We'll see what happens with that. All in all, though, pretty decent SmackDown. I think I'm going to go B- for SmackDown, which I think I gave Raw, Dynamite, and SmackDown all B-. Solid shows, nothing that I thought was significantly great, but pretty decent. B- for SmackDown. Main angle, though, definitely check out with Randy Orton. And it's so great to see Randy Orton back. Like, he just seems so happy to be on TV again. Like, you know, this guy really loves what he does, and it's his passion. You know, the guy made millions and millions of dollars. He doesn't have to wrestle another day if he doesn't want to, but this is a guy that does it because he loves it, and he wants to be out there. He wants to keep going. So props to him. Like, you got to love that when these guys, you know, it is a business for them at the end of the day, but you know, they do treat it as a form of art, and you know, it's their livelihood. It's what drives them. So Randy Orton, one of the all-time greats, and clearly has matured so much over the years. You know, he had a bit of a reputation in his early career, but you know, he's a real pro. Like, definitely one of the all-time greats. And you know, we kind of got sidetracked, and he kind of got in a little bit of a secondary position here because of CM Punk coming back. But Randy Orton is one of the best of all time. So great to see him on TV again, and looking forward to the inevitable match with Roman Reigns at the Rumble. Definitely a great choice as far as Roman Reigns' remaining matches until WrestleMania. I'm all for it. So thank you all for this. Thank you all for tuning in and supporting NoDQ.com, saying yes to NoDQ.com. Much love and appreciation to everybody out there. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Spread the word. Tell a friend about NoDQ.com. A lot of news up on the website right now. It's been a busy week, and we got more stuff coming up this weekend. So NoDQ.com will keep you updated. Take care, everybody. Buy a shirt at NoDQ.com/merch. Say yeah to NoDQ and vote in the year-end awards over on NoDQ.com. We got male superstar and female superstar of the year polls up on the site right now. Check that out, and I will see you all next time.